Okay, good. Well, do you want to get closer so it picks up better?
Cool.
Okay.
Check.
Okay, whenever you're ready. Ready? Okay, you're going. Do you want to introduce yourself?
My name is Travis Clark, and I sing and play guitar for We the Kings.
Okay, how do UK crowds compare to anywhere else that you've played?
UK crowds are crazy. They're they're always like, I feel like they're all way too energetic, which in a good way.
Yeah.
And it's really cool because when we play over here, it's like very rare that a band comes over here often from the States. So everybody comes out and they make sure that they see their band, you know, even at multiple cities. It's like really nice.
Which state are you most looking forward to playing on the tour?
Probably Leeds is definitely in there because that was our very first city that we played. You know, 3 years ago we came and played Slam Dunk Festival, and that was like my most fun show probably I've ever had, which was incredible. So every time we come to Leeds, it's always it always gets rowdy and it's always a big party.
Do you think your fan base has improved since the Slam Dunk show over here?
It definitely has. I mean, every time we come over, the shows get bigger and bigger, and especially after our last tour with You Me at 6, where we supported them. It was, I mean, we gained a lot of fans from their tour and from their fan base, so that was cool. And this is the first time that we've come over here that all the shows have been sold out, even before we got to, you know, the country.
You have a new album due out this year. Have any names been thrown out or any release date times?
We're hoping to get the record out in the summer, so like June, to kind of, you know, tour and support of the new record. But naming the record is always like the last thing we do, so it'll probably be like the day before it comes out. We'll be like, oh yeah, by the way, this is what it's called.
What can we expect from the new album in comparison to your previous album?
The new album, it's fast and loud, and it's more like our first record. We really wanted to write songs that were in comparison to the songs that people fell in love with in the first place. You know, like Check Yes Juliet and Skyway Avenue and Secret Valentine. So we kind of modeled this record a little more after those songs, but it still has like that kind of like indie vibe that Smile Kid had. It's really cool. It's definitely a mixture of both records. But I think this record is what's going to take our band to like the next level because everybody's going to be very excited.
What can fans expect in the set on this time? I mean, last time we saw you at Slam Dunk, you did a Jimmy Eat World cover, which went down really well.
Yeah, well, I think we're going to do it again. I mean, we've been playing it for a while, and we also have like an acoustic cover of it that's out, so we try and support that as well. But it's the best song ever, so it's fun to play
really well
live.
With the crowd last time he was here, and he got the crowd going at Slam Dunk Festival.
Yeah, it definitely did.
Really good. You haven't had a music video out in a while. Have you got any plans for a new one soon?
Yeah, we actually as soon as we get back to the States, we're doing this. Kind of marks the start of our world tour. So we're doing Europe, Asia, and Australia. And when we get back to the States, we're gonna we're gonna actually record like an acoustic type record, and as well we're gonna film some music videos for our new record.
Okay, awesome. The music business is pretty tough. I mean, a few bands have been breaking up, but we've got the potential to get there. What advice could you give to bands to push themselves out there a bit more?
It's definitely tough. I mean, we've had our fair share of speed bumps along the way, but I think bands, in order to really outlast what people's expectations, I think everybody needs to focus on being a band and not getting like too cocky or too egotistical. Stay grounded and stay down to earth because. And especially with your fans. Your fans are the reason that you are a band, and they're the reason that you're able to travel to different cities and wake up in a new city every day. So I would always say just, respect the fans and always be appreciative of what you have.
How did you guys get picked up as a band?
It was kind of a lucky thing. We put like a little advertisement on this website called Pure Volume, which was where you could hear new music, and our manager found us because we were, the number one unsigned band. And they were like, oh, I'll give him a chance. And they flew us up to New York City. We started recording, and 6 months later had a record out. And we were signed to a label. It was just, we got very lucky, and we're just so thankful of what we've been able to achieve.
What point in your life did you realise that being a musician is really what you wanted to drive for in your life?
Probably when I was a kid. I was 4 years old when I started playing piano, and it was something about music that always caught my ear, and I loved everything about it. I loved writing music even as a kid, even if it was terrible. I loved just playing. And then in middle school, I picked up the acoustic guitar and started learning guitar because I thought it could help me with like girls. And so that's when I started writing songs on the guitar. And then I went and saw Blink-182, Green Day, and Jimmy Eat World on tour. It was one show. It was the best show I've ever been to in my life, and I went home from that tour, and I was just like, you know what, I'm going to start a band. And the next day I started a band, and which is now We the Kings.
Yeah. Who were your main inspirations growing up?
I mean, those bands, Blink-182, Green Day, Jimmy Eat World, I love them for all their music and just their attitude and quality of music. You know, I've also, you know, as I've grown up listening to music, like, you know, I love Coldplay and stuff that's a little more piano-based, like Something Corporate or Jack's Mannequin. It's just, it's really fun. And then all of our friends that we've, you know, toured with, you know, we're always inspired and, you know, influenced by the friends that we've grown so, you know, accustomed to touring with.
What would you say is the best thing about being in a band?
The best thing about being in a band is just the travel, touring and being able to walk down the street and have somebody be like, hey, what's up, you know, I like your band. Like, that's really cool. That sense of acknowledgement is always really fun, especially when you're so far, you know, thousands miles away from home.
What's the worst thing about being in a band?
Worst thing about being in a band? I guess the you don't really get to see family that often because you're on the road so much that you know, your brothers and sisters and moms, dads, like, you know, they're all at home and they're, you know, kind of living vicariously through us, and they know what we're doing, but we don't really get to hang out with them. Especially, we're so family oriented that, you know, we grew up, you know, every day was with our family every day, and you go from 24/7 family time to 0 family time. It's kind of rough.
And what's the best compliment you've ever been given?
Over here, somebody said that I was fit, and I didn't realize what I was. Just like, I said, "Oh, cool, thanks." You know, in the States, if you're fit, that means like you're just like in shape or whatever. And so it was a really pretty girl who said it, and so I was like, "Oh, cool," you know. And then I told we were over here with our friends You Meet at 6, and I was just like, "Yo, that really like hot girl just said I was fit." I was like, I feel like I'm in shape, maybe. And they're like, no, that's not what it means. And they're like, it means she thought you were like good looking. And I was like, oh, hell yeah. But had I known that, I would, you know, talk to her. I just didn't know.
What's the worst insult you've ever been given?
Worst insult? I don't know. I don't know that I've really received that many. I mean, some people, like when I was in high school, would just be like, hey, I hate your band. And I was just like, okay, cool, you know, whatever. But I don't know. I'm a pretty happy person, so I don't really like. Yeah, I don't even if they say it, I don't even really hear it. It doesn't. I have selective hearing.
What's the most embarrassing thing that's happened to you on tour?
Oh man, there was one show we played where I went to jump up onto the drum riser and the lights cut out as I was jumping, and so I totally missed it. Hit my shin. Broke a string on my guitar, knocked cymbals over, and then the lights came on, and it was literally just, it was so embarrassing. It was a mess on stage, and nobody knew what happened because the lights went off. So I was like, oh, nobody saw me, but wait, they're looking at me now. The guitar was completely out of tune. I forgot the words because I was thinking about what happened. It was very embarrassing.
Finally, do you have any messages for your UK fans?
Yeah, I mean, just a huge thank you, and they're amazing. Every time we come over here, it's better and better, and you know, we'll always, you know, be there to support them, to support our fans, and to continue writing music because they're the reason we are a band, and we couldn't have done it without them.
Okay, thank you very much.